it. I bring the truth it. You can't handle the truth it. I speak the truth it.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the
Truth it.
the whole
Truth it.
and nothing but the
Truth it.
so help you God?
Yes.
Please be seated.
And I'm here to address any and all things when it's time to, and it's time to. NAACP, challenge to become relevant again. To me, the NAACP is weaker out in these streets, even more so than Black Lives Matter. But the NAACP hasn't been what it was since the 1990s. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I've had a critique for what has the NAACP done. I'm not saying the NAACP has to do exactly what Black Lives Matter does. I didn't say they have to go out and protest and block traffic and things like that. But I mean, can you do something? Can you do anything? And I know a lot of defenders are, oh, you don't know what we're doing. We're out in these, we're doing stuff, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I don't know what behind the scenes they're doing, but I haven't seen it. It's hard to defend the NAACP, at least to me. And I would love to have someone on the show from the NAACP because I know there is an NAACP in Worcester, Worcester. There's locally, to me, there's an NAACP chapter, and I'd love for them to come on Truth It in the AM and discuss with me about the NAACP. Founded in 1909, the NAACP is known as the nation's oldest civil rights organization, launched in part as a response to the lynching of black people across the United States at the time. So you would think at the response of the killings of black people by police officers, where there's seemingly no justice, that this would be the time and the place for the NAACP to shine. Today, the organization retains the legacy of a glorious past, yet struggles with defining its role, its mission, and its relevance in the 21st century. The Council of Bishops of the African Methodist Episcopal Church recently wrote an open letter to the NAACP, providing words of support, but also constructive criticism, tough love, and heartfelt advice. Calling the NAACP tired and unfocused, the AME Church suggested they focus on organizational structure, mission and relevance, and inspiring young people and Black Lives Matter to join in and get involved. What is the mission and vision for the NAACP today? If you get on a bus, you want to know where the bus is going. We don't know where the NAACP is going, the bishop wrote. This means this is the reason many, particularly millennials, are not getting on the bus called the NAACP. He is 100% right. I have no idea what the NAACP has done in the city of Worcester and what they are doing. No one else knows what they are doing, and that's a detriment to them, not a detriment to us. We are the ones that are suffering. We are the ones that need to figure out a way to get justice. It should be up to the NAACP to come out and at least say, here we are, we exist, these things are being done, but you see none of that. Longevity by itself is not proof of relevance. For the reality is that today the NAACP is smaller and less influential than it has ever been in its history as an organization, the letter said. Today the NAACP intimidates no one. To be perfectly honest, the same challenges that face the NAACP face mainline faith denominations. And I'm glad that this open letter from the church wrote that specific line. Because if anybody else can relate to the challenges of the NAACP as being irrelevant and not having not being out there in the streets, as so to speak, with the other people who are really fighting for civil rights and trying to make a difference, is the church. The church has also become invisible. The church has become an exclusive club where the church pretty much only deals with the church. So someone needs to ask the question, church, where are you? Someone needs to ask the question, NAACP, where are you? But you can't ask the question of one and then act like the question is not necessary for the other. The black church is seeking to confront its own challenges, and we call upon the NAACP to do the same. And I'll tell you exactly what the challenges are for the churches and for NAACP. They are not including the millennials in their plan. The church is still the same age. You still see the same old, tired people. And if you take offense to that, I'm sorry. That's what it is. It's the same old bishops. They're not grooming any young people to take over. It's like they want to hold on to their spot and they don't want to let it go, even though it is way past their time. The church is getting older and not getting younger, and the same can be said for the NAACP. We need someone else other than Sister Mary Claris, and Deacon Johnson, both in their 80s. We need some new people, and we need some new blood to step up and take some of these challenges away. These challenges are not going to be taken away by the old people who do not understand what the millennials are going through. Times have changed. The context have changed, said Trevor Coleman, a Washington speechwriter and communication strategist. Every 15 years or so, the NAACP gets to this crucial point that becomes an inflection point in terms of where they are going to go. They have had problems since Ben Hooks retired in the late 80s or 90s to bring on a widely admired charismatic leader because they're invested in a charismatic form of leadership. Coleman said, culturally, African Americans, when it comes to civil rights organizations, particularly organizations such as the NAACP, we've been conditioned to feel emotionally connected to these organizations as much as we want them to be effective with their started mission. They need someone who could be the face of the NAACP and who is furthest removed from a Martin Luther King era person. We need a young person. We need someone in their early 30s, late 20s even, mid 20s, new face. That's all I got for that. Take a quick break. Be right back on Truth It in the AM.